I'm going to do one of the problems from the textbook, which is an example on mixtures and how we work those out. So the problem we have here is how much water should be added to 2 litres of 5% cordial mixture to produce a 3% cordial mixture. So what we have is 2 litres of cordial, where 5% of it is straight cordial. So it's like having 2 litres of water, but 5% of it is just straight cordial. And then we want to add more water, which dilutes it to 3%. So first thing I'm going to draw this as a diagram, because it's really good to represent it like that. You can picture it a bit easier. So over here, I've got my first one. First, this is what we're starting with. Now we know that this is 2 litres, and we know that it is at 5% concentration. So that means 5% of this 2 litres is cordial. What we want to do to it is add some water. That's what the problem's saying. But how much we are adding is what we want to find out. So since that's what we're finding out, we're going to call that X. So we're adding X litres of water. So over here, I'm going to draw what we end up with. We end up with something that's a bit more full. We know that it's going to have a 3% concentration. But as for its volume, so how much is there, it will be, well, we look at what we started with 2 litres, and we've added X litres. So our final volume will be 2 add X litres. So that's that first bit. The only thing that changes between the two vats here is the amount of water, but not the amount of cordial, just the concentration. So what we can then say is between these two situations, we'll just wait for the clock. So between these two situations, there's the same amount of cordial. So we can work out how much cordial is in this first vat, which is 5% of 2 litres. Now the way I do that, I go 0.05 times by 2. Because to work out 5% of a number, I can just times it by 0.05. Just the same as, let's say I had 10% of a number, I can just times it by 0.1. You know, if I had 22%, I could times it by 0.22. So then, with that logic, if in this one I've got 3%, I'm going to be timesing something by 0.03. And what I'm timesing by is how much stuff we have. And how much stuff we have is 2 plus X litres. So I'm going to 2 plus X. And now what you've got is an equation in the form of the problems you've already been doing. This is the stuff we've been doing all along. So what I'll do first is I'm just going to evaluate this number. 0.05 times by 2 is 0.1. Then on this side, I have to expand these brackets. So first thing, 0.3 times by 2 is 0.06. Then we do the other part of the bracket, 0.3 by x is 0.03x. Oops. So now we collect like terms. So what I can do is move this 0.06 over here, which means I take it away from the 0.1, so I get 0.04, I believe, 0.06. That one, yep. Equals 0.03x. Then what I do is I move this 0.3 over, and this goes to 0.04 divided by 0.03 equals x, and then 0.04 divided by 0.03 is 1 1/3, equaling x. So if you put that into your calculator and got something like 1.3333, that is correct.